GOAT? And how long will Russell Wilson remain in Seattle? That and more coming up on the Main Event Sports Show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Main Event Sports Show. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you by Haps TV. If you haven't done so, go ahead, download the Haps app. Make sure you get that. You can support me and other broadcasters on here. You can sponsor the show, or you get 100 coins when you join. You can use that to share. So make sure you do that. Like I said, you can get your comments here. However, if you drop them in the chat on Haps, it's easier. I can pull them in the screen. So that's why I encourage everybody. Plus, it's a cool place to be. And if you also looking to have your own show, DM me. I can definitely, talk to you, get you in the works with the producers. All right, we got checking in. We got L.A. Brodus. Thank you for the coins, bro. That's the high award. I appreciate that. We got Mike Patton coming in. Of course, he said I at least had 31 points right for the Bucs. Yeah, Mike, we talk about it. Bucs getting it done. 31-9. I did not see that coming. I told y'all. I said, look, I'm going with the Bucs. I said Tom Brady was the dynasty stopper. Shout out to Pablo joining. What's up, Pablo? Good to see you. I told people Tom Brady's the dynasty stopper. You go back to the Rams, you go back to the potential Eagles, and then you go back to the Seattle Seahawks. And it happened. Hopefully, in my case, me being a Ravens fan, I'm hoping that the dynasty of the Kansas City Chiefs is stopped. I don't think it's going to be that easy, folks. I'll be honest with you. But it all, it's so much that goes into making a Super Bowl team, and Tom Brady has seemed to make it look so easy. We saw the struggles. They started off hot. They was 7-5 at one point. However, and Mike Patton just said it best. Let me put that on the screen for y'all who can't see. He said Pat Mahomes was Patrick. His mother said call him Patrick. Pat Mahomes was dancing around more than Michael Jackson in that Pepsi commercial when he got his head burned. Yeah, certainly. The Bucs defense proved that they were a force to be reckoned with. And that was what I was looking forward to. And I think a lot of people say, okay, well, Drew Brees, yeah, they forced him to turn over the ball, but it's like, okay, Brees look old. Then Aaron Rodgers, couple questionable plays, probably would have won the game, but I said, all right, cool, we'll figure that out. So they figured Patrick Mahomes better than both of them this year. Well, maybe not Aaron Rodgers, but he's got the cheetah. So people just figured that they was going to run all over the Bucs, or it would be a closer game. But just to see the way that defensive coordinator Todd Bowles called a good game, and I mean, he outcoached Eric Bieniemy as far as the defensive coordinator versus the offensive coordinator situation, and then Byron Leftwich. I mean, you just saw it just kind of march downfield, and Gronk. Brady and Gronk doing what they do, connected for touchdowns, or as they call it, a tutty in the Super Bowl. So, shouts out to them. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I'm not even going to sit here and stunt and say, oh, that's my guy, because he is not. But the facts is this, folks. The facts at the end of the day is Tom Brady's the GOAT. Yeah, you can say Joe Montana. Montana went to Kansas City and didn't get them to the Super Bowl and win it. Tom Brady, when you think about sports and a culture, you listen to these podcasts, you listen to podcasts like All the Smoke, and they'll tell you everything got to go right in order to win a championship. It's so hard, so difficult to do. And I put Tom Brady and LeBron James on the same level of washed goats. That's what we're going to call them, washed goats. But not as in washed as if they are done with. We will call them washed goats as in they've been refreshed. They've been cleaned up a little bit, because when you look to see what they have done with going from one franchise to another and winning a championship, volumes. Michael Jordan couldn't do that, folks. I know y'all love your Jordan, A lot of people do, but he couldn't do that in DC. Let's get to the comments here. Um, what's that? Sika Soxco. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Defense still wins championships, even though rule changes have favored the offense more and more. Absolutely, because you got to stop people from scoring. You got to stop people from scoring. And guess what? You can score on defense. They got offense questions, off-season questions now. JPP, Barrett, David on the defensive side of free agents. That's beautiful. That means we hopefully don't have to see a dynasty with these Buccaneers. On the offensive side, you got Godwin, Brown, and he believed Gronk is a free agent too. That's Mike Patton. He said, somebody said I heard two stats the other day. Drums underscore and underscore crack. Tom Brady has played in 20% of all the Super Bowls. That's crazy when you really think about it. You think about if you hit 20% of all the Super Bowls. Shout out to Jaden, the guy tuning in. You think about all Super Bowls. What you think is okay? Well, this player. You think about franchises. If you just said the New England Patriots or the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers had played in 20% of the Super Bowls, okay, cool. But to think Tom Brady has done that, that's crazy. And then he's played in 10 Super Bowls. He's been in the league for 20 years. 50% of Super Bowls he's been in since he's been in the league. That is phenomenal. And then you go back to this guy who, when he was drafted, he did not look like somebody that was going to win 7 Super Bowls. He didn't have like this incredible physique that's like, oh my goodness, this is the guy right here. He didn't. I appreciate drums underscore and underscore crack for that one. What's that? Bastard G. He's been in a Super Bowl in 3 different decades. He has more franchise. Mike Patton says he has more rings than every franchise in the NFL. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You believe? Yep. The Patriots have 6. He got 7. The Steelers have 6. Brady has 7. 49ers, Cowboys, they have 5. So yeah, he has more than all of them. Yeah, but that 20% stat will decrease over time and look worse. I like the 50% of while he's in the league. That coming from Dynamite. I mean, either way, it's still it's an incredible feat. And like I said, for me, I just had to admit it. Like, this guy is the truth. He's coming in there, it just goes to show you these caliber of athletes. Like I said, we talk about Jordan stopping guys like Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, possibly Grant Hill early, but I mean, we probably not Grant Hill early, but we talk about him stopping these guys, Carl Stockton and Malone, Peyton and Kemp. He stopped them from winning championships. Charles Barkley is another one. But Tom Brady, he, going from different teams. I'm one of the people that I don't think Jordan would have won 8 out of 8. I think something would have went wrong. It was too much on the body. I think that 2-year break happened. We see Tom Brady. He went to a bunch of Super Bowls, took a break, quote unquote, and then came back and was victorious. So it's definitely a lot right there. I still think the defense should have had the MVP, but I ain't mad at it. I agree, but at the same time, it's not like the offense, in my opinion, they didn't have like short field all the time. It's not like they created so many turnovers that the offense didn't have to work. So that's the reason why I'm okay with Tom Brady getting MVP. I thought it was going to be pretty obvious, maybe Gronk, but if I had a vote, it definitely would have went to Tom Brady. Because for sure, I'm a Raiders fan, bro. Still got to respect Brady. Yeah, it's hard. I'm a Ravens fan. And man, he torched them a few times in the playoffs, no lie. So I get it. I want to shift gears. It says real quick, Jags fan, and the dude kept us from going to Super Bowl in 2017. I still think he's the GOAT. Absolutely. Also, it says Dynamite, you're right about 20% at the moment. It's still impressive. Yeah. Also want to talk about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was on Dan Patrick's show. I believe it's Dan Patrick's show, and he talked about potentially being a free agent. Now, the word is that his camp is not happy and want him to be protected. And I agree. You know, I agree that he needs better protection. You have a quarterback. Why would not you would not protect him? We saw that in the Super Bowl. No matter how good you are. Now, I watch people get on Lamar Jackson and not real, obviously in that game, the center had a horrible game, but I watch people go back and forth. Now we see, we saw this with Patrick Mahomes, and now people see no matter how good you are, if you don't have a good offensive line, it doesn't mean anything, folks. It doesn't mean anything. Biggest drive of the game was when Fournette came in and got around the game when they sputtered early. So just tuned in already, all about the Chiefs. All right, so tell 31. All right, I didn't talk about the penalties. They were mostly earned penalties. Absolutely. You look at. I'll get back to Russell Wilson in a minute. The end zone, the play to the end zone. You can't touch people. They know the rules. Yeah, they let some of it go. It's just like they say, it's holding on every play. It's mad if you get caught. You cannot touch people. Mike Evans going for the touchdown. I mean, he had Bashard Breeland burnt, and Breeland swiped his hand because he knew he was burnt. He had to. He had to. So I'm not mad at any of the penalties. If anything, you gotta show up and you gotta make sure that you discipline. And once they was in their heads, it was a wrap. Titans fan here. We didn't even belong in the playoffs this year with that garbage defense, but hey, at least we not the Jags. True that, man. Tom Brady for the Madden 22 cover and change it from Madden to Brady. Yeah, EA Sports could use a facelift. I doubt they put Brady back on the cover. Last time he was on the cover, went to the Super Bowl, but then the Philly special happened. So, I mean, I would love to see him on the cover. That'll be interesting, though, as we move forward. Will it be Aaron Rodgers? Will it be Christian McCaffrey? Will it be Baker Mayfield? That's who I'm hoping for. Just keep that cover away from any of the Baltimore Ravens, and I don't think they have to worry about that this year. But yeah, back to Russell Wilson. If you didn't know, if you're just tuning in, Russell Wilson, his camp is not happy with the way he is being, the way he's not being protected. He also was on a Dan Patrick show, and when they asked about him being traded, he basically just says, he does want change, but he don't make personnel decisions. So we'll see. We'll see. I see this on NFL.com. There's the quote: "I'm frustrated with getting hit too much." I know a lot of people don't like that, but hey, you know what? It's no quarterback wants to get hit. He said, "I've been sacked almost 400 times. We got to get better. I got to find ways to get better too. Just continue to try and find that." So he said he came here to win championships. And they asked what was he frustrated about. This was per ESPN.com. That's when he said, "I'm frustrated with getting hit too much." So I'm interested to see what happens as far as Russell Wilson is concerned. I can't imagine the Seahawks. I think they asked him, was he up for trade? And he said, that's a question for the Seahawks. I can't imagine them trading him. I just can't. He's too valuable to the franchise on and off the field. We all know they've had their issues this year, but I just can't see that happening. So, yeah, LA will host the Super Bowl. They're getting ready. They'll host the Super Bowl next year, I believe, the first time since 1993. Patrick Peterson, there was rumors that he was cut. He ripped that. He says no real update about his contract status. He said it's a dirty rumor. Him and his team haven't talked about that partner ways. So I'm interested. He's one of the people I'm interested to see where he goes. As he's a former All-Pro running back. Cornerback, All-Pro cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals. Says Baldwin tweeted just a while ago that Russell Wilson was pressured worse than Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Wow. So how bad how bad can that be? We all saw Patrick Mahomes. I believe they say he had like 400 yards just running around. So that right there shows you, yeah, he was big time pressure brought to the way of Patrick Mahomes. So, let's see what else we got going on in sports. I had something else on here, and so in all honestly, had planned to do this yesterday, but then I got sidetracked. So I had to switch up the rundown just a little bit. I don't know if y'all heard about the streaker, the guy, but apparently he allegedly won he cleared 300,000 plus because while him streaking out and he betted on himself, basically betted that somebody would streak in the Super Bowl when the odds was against him. So he came up. So I mean, whichever way you get your money, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So here Peterson is going to convert the safety. Those talks of moving positions have happened. That coming from Mike Patton. If you guys don't, make sure y'all check out Mike Patton show every week as he does a great job breaking down the sport of football in general. I learned a lot just from watching the show. I'm not going to be going here and declare that I'm this great expert. I'm a fan of the sport and I'm a fan of great stories. So shout out to Mike Patton. Make sure y'all check him out. NFL loses a legend. Former coach Marty Schottenheimer passed away today at 77. He's top 10 in all-time wins. I remember at one point around the time when everybody kind of knew Brian Billick was leaving the Ravens, he was somebody that I was hoping the Ravens would talk to, and but they didn't. They unfortunately. So his final game was January 14th, 2007, and he lost to Tom Brady in a home divisional game, and so that was unfortunate for him. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Let me make sure I got this gentleman's name right. We also lost somebody in the family of sports journalism. Therese Paler passed away today. So it's so sad. I see a lot of people tweeting about him. So I never got a chance to meet him, but you know, he was a senior NFL reporter for Yahoo Sports, and he was a Pro Football Hall of Fame voter. So our family, my thoughts and prayers go out to his family, as it's a tough time. It's always tough when he was definitely somebody into the Kansas City media. Give a shout out to my brother Mark Gunnels. I know somebody he looked up to. So my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family during this tough time. So, NBA tonight we got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Detroit Pistons. Pistons, interesting move, sending Derrick Rose back to New York. Rose playing under Tibbs again. So I'm interested to see that. I doubt he play tonight as New York plays Miami. New York 11-14. Miami's 9-14. I think NBA is much better when the Knicks are good. Bottom line, it's just I think they're much better. On TV tonight, though, at 10 o'clock, we have the Boston Celtics taking on the red hot 19-5 Utah Jazz. So that'll always be interesting, especially if Boston wins. What will happen? Will Shaq be criticizing Donovan Mitchell? But before that, we will have the Houston Rockets taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. I almost said New Orleans Saints. I ain't gonna lie. I wish they could flex the game because I'd much rather see Golden State take on San Antonio. So those are some games, and we got the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Sacramento Kings late tonight also. I think, I don't see Sacramento winning that. But then again, in basketball, anything can happen, and that's always the best part. So, Thank you, Boris, for tuning in for and with the dropping a super hard award. I really appreciate that for everybody who's dropped awards. Thank you so much. Make sure you download the Haps app as I get ready to get out of here. Make sure you download the app, share it with your friends. You could definitely, if you're interested in joining, interested in having your show, let me know. I can definitely, talk to the people, hook you up, and you tune into the community broadcasts and go from there. Till the next time, folks, I'm Brian H. Waters.